It was late evening when a wealthy businessman returned home earlier than expected. Tired from meetings and deals, he wanted nothing more than a quiet moment. But the moment he stepped inside, he froze. From the hallway, he heard muffled voices, protective, almost desperate, curious. He moved closer and found himself staring at a scene he never imagined. The black cleaning lady, who had worked quietly in his mansion for years, was crouched on the floor with her arms wrapped tightly around her young daughter, a little girl with Down syndrome. Her body shook as if shielding the child from some unseen harm, her eyes wide with fear, yet full of courage. For a man who lived in a world of power and wealth, the raw emotion in front of him felt almost unreal. He had seen people fight for money, fame, and contracts, but rarely had he witnessed such pure love and bravery. In that instant, the millionaire's carefully built world collided with a story he knew nothing about. Why was she hiding like this? What danger was she protecting her daughter from? And what secret had been silently living under his own roof all along? He stepped closer, heart pounding, unaware that what he was about to discover would change everything. The millionaire stood in silence, unsure whether to announce himself or simply keep watching. The cleaning lady, unaware of his presence, whispered softly to her daughter, calming her trembling hands. The little girl clung tighter, eyes wide and searching, as if she feared someone might take her away. The sight unsettled him. He had always thought of his mansion as the safest place. Yet here was a woman who seemed to believe danger lurked even within its walls. Memories flashed in his mind of all the times he had seen her working quietly in the background, never asking for help, never sharing anything beyond a polite smile. She was efficient, dependable, but distant, as if carrying burdens too heavy to lay down. He realized he had never once asked about her life outside of cleaning his home. Now, seeing her hold her daughter like a shield, he began to wonder what struggles she was hiding. Was she running from someone? Had the little girl faced cruelty before? His mind raced with questions, none of which he could answer. All he knew was that this wasn't just a simple moment of mother and child. Something deeper, something painful, lingered beneath it, and, as he stepped forward, the truth began to unravel in ways he never expected. The cleaning lady finally noticed him standing there. Her eyes widened, not with relief, but with fear. She held her daughter even closer, as if expecting the worst. The millionaire raised his hand slightly, signaling he meant no harm, but the silence between them grew heavier by the second. He had been a man of control his whole life, boardrooms, negotiations, contracts, but in this moment he felt powerless. He could see her shaking, and he knew something far more serious was unfolding than what met the eye. The little girl buried her face in her mother's shoulder, mumbling words that sounded like she didn't want to go back. That phrase echoed in his mind. Go back where? His chest tightened as he realized this wasn't just fear, it was history speaking. He wondered if there was someone from her past trying to take the child away, or if society's harsh judgment toward children with Down syndrome had left scars deeper than he could imagine. For years, he had lived surrounded by luxury, insulated from these kinds of struggles, yet here, inside his own home, was a story of survival, protection, and love that money could never buy. And though he wanted answers, he also sensed that pressing too quickly could break the fragile trust hanging in the air. He took a breath, knowing that whatever truth she was hiding would not be simple, and it was only the beginning of what he was about to uncover. The millionaire's voice broke the silence, low and steady. He asked her what was happening, but she shook her head, eyes glistening, holding her daughter tighter. The little girl whispered again about not wanting to go back, and this time her mother's lips trembled. The man felt frustration and worry twist inside him. He was used to finding solutions, yet here he stood, watching two lives shadowed by a fear he couldn't name. He tried again, softer now, reminding her that he had never raised a hand against her, that his home was safe. But the woman's gaze darted toward the door, as though she expected it to burst open at any moment. That look chilled him. Whoever or whatever she was protecting her daughter from was still very real. In the days before, he might have dismissed such fears as exaggeration. Now he could see this wasn't imagined. Something had driven her to live in silence, to work tirelessly while carrying a hidden battle. The millionaire's heart pounded as he realized he might already be entangled in it. The house, once a place of order and wealth, suddenly felt like the stage of a storm about to break. Every tick of the clock deepened the tension, and as he stepped closer, the question loomed: what truth was about to shatter his world forever? Before the millionaire could ask again, the sound of tires screeched outside the mansion gates. Both mother and daughter flinched at once. The little girl buried her face, trembling, while her mother's eyes filled with dread. The man froze, sensing that whatever they feared had followed them here. He moved toward the window and saw a dark car parked just beyond the gates, headlights cutting through the night like watchful eyes. The woman whispered under her breath, begging her daughter to stay quiet. Her fear was so raw it unsettled him even more than the mysterious car. She finally spoke, her voice breaking. They found us. The words hit him like a blow. He realized this wasn't only about hardship or secrecy. Someone was actively searching for them. The millionaire's mind raced. Who were they? Why would anyone chase a mother and a child with Down syndrome? He turned back, demanding answers, but her silence told him she was torn between protecting her daughter and trusting him. Every instinct he had sharpened from years of negotiations and battles in business now screamed that this was no ordinary situation. The presence of that car was proof that danger had arrived at his doorstep, and with each passing second, the walls of his once peaceful mansion felt less like a sanctuary and more like a trap. The millionaire's chest tightened as the car engine rumbled outside. He knew this was the moment to act. He turned to the cleaning lady and told her firmly that she and her daughter were safe, that no one would harm them under his roof. For a second, she hesitated. Then the truth spilled out. Through trembling words, she revealed that the child's estranged father had been trying to take the girl away, insisting she didn't deserve love or care because of her condition. The mother had fled, taking whatever work she could find, hiding her daughter wherever possible. The millionaire's anger burned at the thought. His wealth had shown him greed in many forms, but never cruelty like this. Without hesitation, he stepped outside, facing the car at his gates. To his shock, it wasn't just the father, it was a lawyer, papers in hand, demanding custody. The man's arrogance clashed with the millionaire's calm authority. In that moment, power shifted. The millionaire used his influence, his resources, and above all, his conviction, to shield the mother and child. But just as the lawyer retreated, defeated for now, the little girl tugged at the millionaire's sleeve and whispered, "Are you my daddy too?" Her innocent words froze everyone, turning silence into the most unexpected twist of all. The room went still after the child's question, her innocent eyes searching for comfort. The millionaire knelt down slowly, looking into her face. He wasn't her father, but in that moment he understood what she truly meant. She was asking if someone could finally stand by her and her mother without leaving. His voice was soft but steady as he told her, "I'll always protect you." The little girl smiled faintly, clinging to her mother with relief. Over the following days, the millionaire used his power not for business, but for people. He connected the mother with legal help, ensuring the abusive father could never threaten them again. He also made sure the little girl received the medical support and education she deserved, proving that her condition was not a weakness, but a part of her strength. The mansion, once a symbol of wealth and distance, became a place of safety and care. For the cleaning lady, the fear that had shadowed her steps slowly gave way to hope. And for the millionaire, the encounter opened his eyes to a truth he had overlooked all his life. Real value is not in money or contracts, but in love, dignity, and protection of the vulnerable. In the end, he had been shocked into rediscovering his own humanity, and that changed everything.